So we are recording and I'm starting the live stream. So hi everyone, welcome to this session about an exciting topic, how to turn your passion to an income stream and today we have Shlomo, who is a financial coach for remote worker. Hi, Shlomo. Great to see you again.
Lovely being here for the third time. Thank you for inviting.
Yeah, always a pleasure. And let's start. So Shlomo, let's start first by introducing yourself.
Sure.
And then we'll dive in.
Okay. So very nice to meet you all. Before I introduce myself, I want to do two important things. One is congratulate Limo for passing a very important test today. That woman hadn't had a test in I don't know how many years. So congratulations on this. And she said it was successful. So she did it.
Thank you.
Big round of applause.
Today I had an exam for my coaching certification, which it's on material that I studied for 6 months. It's the first time I'm doing an exam for I don't know how many years since graduating from college, and it's been a while. So yeah, thank you.
Congratulations. And the second thing is that I'm giving these kind of talks, either this talk or talks about remote work and personal finance and how to handle finances the right way in all kinds of organizations. So if your organization is interested in these kind of talks, please get in touch with me afterwards and I will let you know how. I want to know where everybody are from. So write that in the chat. And as Limo said, please turn on your cameras. We've got an engaging talk today. One of you at least will have to talk about their life. They can choose how much they want to expose, but there is something there. So I want you with me. Austin, Texas. Great. Thank you, John. Anchorage, Alaska. Raul. Lucinda from Spain. Lovely having you all. Okay, so while you're giving the talks, you're telling me where you're from. I'm going to turn on my New Jersey, Anna from New Jersey. I'm going to turn on the presentation. Let me share my screen.
Wow, we have Hawaii, we have New Orleans, all over the globe. That's great.
Wonderful. No, I don't want to do share. I want to do a slideshow. You see my screen, right?
Yes, we see it.
Okay. If you can turn on your cameras, that will be great. And I promised an introduction. There will be an introduction in a minute. I'll tell you who I am. And I want to know also more about you. So how to turn your passion into an income stream. This is our dream, the thing that we really want for ourselves, to do something we love and also make an income from it. Is it possible? A spoiler here, I claim that yes, it's possible, and I'm going to show you today how to do that. It's not a get rich quick scam. That's not what I'm talking about. There won't be piles of money falling from the sky right after this talk. However, I'll give you the tools to start going towards that direction. So a little bit about me. I am a financial coach. That's not yet. So I'm married with 2 children. I'm an entrepreneur for the past 18 years. I'm a financial coach. I do this with personal training and workshops. And I also now, about 2 weeks ago, launched an online course of how to achieve the perfect finance life balance for remote workers. And you see all these achievement that I had got in life. So I built a company in China. I speak to thousands of people. I wrote a chapter in a book, and that book got a world record. So a lot of good things. I had a podcast. By the way, one more thing. Okay, I had a podcast. I had all these things, which are really important. Some of them I intended to do. Some of them I did not intend to do. So one thing I intended to do is building free financial self. That's the financial coaching business. I help people organize their finances to reach financial freedom faster. However, something that I didn't intend to do is building a company in China and do all that. And it's a whole different story and a whole different talk. But this is something that just happened. But all these things that I'm showing you here today are things that are professional. I want to show you what are the really important things in life. These are the personal things that are important for me, for myself. It's planning a bike trip with my family from Alaska to South America. I need about 2 or 2.5 years for that. I hope that's going to happen. We are a location independent family. We travel a lot. We go on workations once or twice a year for several months. I really feel that we can get along anywhere around the world, either myself or all of us as a family. I've been to 36 countries, and my dream is to speak at TED. All these things are really personal for me and things that I want for myself. And these are the things that you should strive for. The professional things are important, but don't forget your personal things and the things that you really, really love. And this is what this talk is about. So, one disclaimer, you need to understand I'm not a financial advisor, I'm a financial coach. So there is no advice here, but information from my experience, things that I've learned from the teaching that I do with others. I share from my knowledge, but you need to take responsibility over your life and how you manage them. And I'm all in favor of taking responsibility and don't leave it to others, because we are the best, let's say, keepers of our lives. We have the best interest for our lives, so you should do that. Okay, so before I continue, tell me why you're here. You heard this this title, How to Turn Your Passion into an Income Stream, and you said, yes, I want to register and join this call, Power to Fly, give this newsletter, and you say, yes, I'm going to join. So write in the chat, why are you here? Where are you in life that you see that? I see your, I see the chat window now. So Brandy says, looking to find my passion in life. Okay, thank you, Brandy. What else? Brandy, where are you from? Did you tell us? Oh, I can't see it. Tell us where you're from. Detroit. Christina says, I need a career change and would like to go mobile. What does it mean to go mobile for you, Christine? Christina, sorry. Does that mean location independent, working from a computer? Oops. Okay. Okay, so we have career change, we have finding passion in life. What else? Michelle is tired of asking others for opportunities. You want to find your own opportunities. I'll give you some ideas for opportunities here. And John is starting a new job, 1-year contract, a career transition to speaking, teaching after 1 year. Okay, so John, you're getting ready, right? Good.
Right.
Awesome. Keep, I might need you later on. Keep those microphone and cameras open. Turn on.
Okay.
Wonderful. Okay, so we've got all these wonderful things that you said of why you're here. Oh, Rhonda is adding, I'm in mid-career transition and would like to find remote work while also preparing for my future goals. That's amazing. Thank you, Rhonda. Okay, so choose a job that you love, choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. This is what Confucius said about 2,500 years ago. He's got amazing sayings, and this is one of them that I got. By the way, he didn't write it. It's his students who wrote that, then brought it to us for the world. So after reading this, thank you also, Jacinda, for replying and exploring a path that is more aligned with my ideal lifestyle. I want the ability to be location independent. Okay, I'll give you some ideas here. So Confucius said this 2,500 years ago. So I went to check what are the wonderful jobs that there were at his time that he's talking about. Let's see. You see that? That's fun, right? Mason, people who are fixing carriages, a farmer, all that. That's amazing. We all want to do that every day, all day, and not just 8 hours a day. I'm kidding, of course. But my point here is that what Confucius said at his time was, if you had a job which is not a poet, a writer, or any of those, that was only for aristocracy. That was him. The regular people did what you see here on the screen. Okay, not fun at all. But fortunately, it's been 2,500 years since, and things have changed. You don't have to be aristocracy to get to find something that you love. So let's look at what he said again. He spoke about a job that you love. What did he mean by that? And I want you to write for me in the chat, what do you think that means, a job that you love or work that you love? What happens? What are the feelings that you have? And I'll have my Chinese tea drink while you do that. Rhonda and Brandy, do you know each other? You shall look at the chat.
Effortless, almost. The work
yeah,
of
Candy
doing
is saying,
it is fun.
Okay, fun work. Brandy says, work that brings joy and fulfillment, therefore doesn't feel like drudgery. Okay, that's a good one. Christina, I love teaching and learning, so it is effortless when done. So we're talking about fun, we're talking about effortless, we're talking about fulfillment, work that is not boring but challenging. That's interesting, Anna. So you want not boring, but you also want challenging, and maybe an ongoing work that you're doing over and over. It's the same thing that is not challenging and gets boring. And Jacinda is saying, and Jacinda, I hope I pronounce your name right. I apologize if not. A job that gives you peace of mind, joy, and impact. Wow, that's strong. Impact, yes. Michelle is saying, there's always a sense of wonder around what you're doing. Even when it gets hard, you stay motivated because your passion drives you, right? And Rhonda's saying, I feel full and joyful when I'm helping others self-improve. This is easy. This is easy for me because I'm constantly in the state of growth and self-development myself. And we have Alessa saying, work that you'd like to do for free if you didn't need income. That's a good one. I've been fortunate to work for a company like that. Not all will be so fortunate. Okay, thank you for sharing, Alessa. Okay, we got all these things of what is job that you love. Rhonda is saying, so if you are able to impact others on a daily basis, that is wonderful. That is wonderful work. No, sorry. So if you're able to impact others on a daily basis, that wouldn't be work. Debatable, but okay. So here are the things that you feel what happens when you like to work. So you don't feel that time passes, okay? I'm not sure if somebody mentioned here. So you probably heard the word, you're in the flow. You feel like time doesn't pass. This is when you are in the flow. Things like that. You have satisfaction. You definitely mentioned that. And I'm putting this in a question mark, high salary or earnings, because some people would say that they love their job because of what they make. Although they suffer in that, but they still define this as a job that they love. So this is debatable if you should, if this is really a job that you love, but maybe for a short time, if this makes you enough or a lot of money and you're saying, okay, I can grind for that, maybe I'd say yes. Questionable. And someone else, well, it's an email, so I can't say the name. A job that you enjoy doing most and you find interest in doing it. Great, thank you very much. Here's the problem. The problem with jobs that we like, and I hear this a lot, no money, you can't live on it. Yeah, I see people nodding. Yeah, I see you nodding, everybody. You've heard that, right? We want to do something we love, we just don't know how to make money from it. How are we going to live from it? So I came up Candy says she loves her salary and hated her job. Rhonda agrees. Okay, so I came up with a plan, a grand plan for you, how to solve this problem. You want to hear that? Let's go. Only 2 steps. Get ready. Think of something you really like to do. Find out how to get involved and make money from it. You couldn't have thought it by yourself, right? That's my grand plan. I worked hours and hours, years, days, just to think about this. But it's really that simple. Okay? And I'm saying this because today, there is really, you can make money today from almost anything you love nowadays. Okay? Because you can do it from anywhere around the world, work for anyone. The world is literally at the tip of your fingers. So here are a few examples, and this is where I'll need you at the next slide. Okay, I'll need at least one volunteer, maybe more. So at time of Confucius, you had to be an aristocrat to work in something that you love, but not these days. Okay, here are some examples of things that you can do today. Just right after we finish this talk, you can go online and search for those. You can teach. Somebody mentioned that they like to teach, so you can teach. You can write content on something that you love. You can teach something that you love, and I'll show you concrete examples, so don't worry about it. You can build a product or a service of something that you like to do. Maybe Limor will start a coaching business because she loves it so much, so that's her way of doing something she loves and earn from that. You can maintain a website of a favorite topic, and you don't have to build it from scratch, and I'll show you how. Or being an employee is also okay, but remember, it doesn't have to be at the 1 hour mark from your house or where you live. You can just work for anyone, find any job that you love, because the world is just open at the tip of your fingers, as I mentioned. So let's open this up. Is there somebody here who likes to do something, but doesn't know how to make it into an income stream, into his job or his work?
So John wrote something in the comment, I love my job, but then we went all remote. I was a technical trainer and course developer for software companies.
Okay. John, are you writing this so you'll be my volunteer, or that's related to something else I asked? Sorry.
It was related to something else, but I'd be a volunteer. I got no problem with that.
Okay. Okay. So let's do that. Do you want to elaborate more of something that you love? And by the way, I'm not necessarily talking about the classic job role. I mean, you gave a few examples of that here, but if you, John, for some reason, what you love to do is knitting and you don't know how to turn that into an income stream, that can also be an example, or whatever hobby you have. Okay, something that you do to be in the flow.
Right. What happened after the Great Recession, though, was that companies decided they weren't going to train anybody, and lots of companies got rid of all their trainers. So I went into implementation, into architecture and everything, and that's all remote too. And I don't mind doing remote, but I really like being around the office. I like being around students and teaching people how to solve problems. Last couple of years, I've gotten fascinated by clean energy. I had always followed it.
Okay.
But I think there's a big lack of people out there with a positive message. There's a whole lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Oh, the oceans are going to rise. We're all going to burn up because the atmosphere is going to change
tomorrow.
6 degrees tomorrow, right? And we all have to quit burning fossil fuels and have electric vehicles.
Yeah.
But to me, I started following some speakers and some think tanks, and there's a really positive message. We can make a better society for our kids and grandkids by doing all of this. So I wanted to put the positive message out there and possibly teach people about how to figure out what the return on investment of actually working to make a better world is. So I guess I want to become a professional speaker and futurist is what I'm looking at.
Okay, and you're, as you said, you're really fascinated about this topic in the environment. So this is an excellent example of something which is your passion, but
Yep.
how is that related to something that I can make money from? You did mention speaking, which definitely is a good example. And maybe now we can think together how you can do that. So I definitely have some ideas for you also coming up. But just looking at the list now on the screen,
Let's give this a go.
just looking at the examples on the screen, the thing that I see that pops up and the easiest for you to get your name out there and really try and really start is writing content about this, whether it's your blog, but your blog is pretty hard to do and start, although I'll show you a shortcut coming up.
Good. No, I actually
yeah.
have my own domain, my own website, rothgeb.net. And so I can just, it went down a few years ago and I haven't put it back up, but I can just throw WordPress on there and start a blog. So,
but you won't start making a living out of it tomorrow.
No.
Exactly. So my point is this. I personally invest and operate niche websites in different niches, okay? People like me are looking for content writers on different niches. They need the experts. So looking for websites that are talking about the environment and then offering yourself as a content writer is one thing. You'll get two things at a time. One, they'll pay you for this. And two, you'll get your name out there because you'll have your bio there at the bottom saying John Rothgeb, sorry. I don't know if I pronounced it right.
You got it right the first time.
Okay, Rothgeb. And therefore, you can start bringing people to your website. Maybe you're putting on a landing page for speaking, whatever that is. But the first thing that you can do is offer yourself just to start the ball rolling. One more thing that you can do is going to marketplaces for freelancers, and I'll show you a few examples coming up. And list yourself as a content writer for environmental issues and things like that. That's something which is fairly easy to do and can get you another income stream fairly quickly once you find those roles. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to make millions out of it tomorrow, but you can start, as I said, get the ball rolling and, getting into better websites, start getting traction, and eventually get this into your main income stream. Does that help?
That's brilliant. I'd already looked at doing meetup.com and a blog. And of course, I'm pretty active on LinkedIn and Facebook, posting stuff. I've done some speaking engagements locally for free. I just spoke to a retirement home yesterday. They actually had they've got a National Academy of Sciences guy, a world famous biologist who studies bugs. And he asked me to lunch afterward and wanted to talk to me about all that. So I got some kudos on talking about this because I had a positive take on where we can go and why it could be really, really good.
There you go. Okay, so you're on the right track. Just maybe implement some of what I gave you and you can get it even faster.
Yes, no, this is, and I already teach. So
you got the experience.
Yeah, that's okay. This is gold. This is really good.
Wonderful. I'm happy to hear. Okay, we got time, I think, for one more volunteer. If somebody wants this mini coaching session, please either raise your hand or just unmute yourself and we can do that. Anyone?
Shlomo's great. I highly recommend it.
And Limor just see there coaching. Maybe Limor will coach me.
This is Candy. Have
Hi,
my
Candy.
camera
Hello.
off. I'm homesick.
No problem.
But
Yes, please.
I have a passion for really empowering women, whether it's through connecting them to resources, whether it's buying your first home, figuring out credit, just all the things that maybe hold everyday people back, but really focused on young girls and young women trying to figure it out.
Okay. Okay. Is this in any particular, I'd say, sector or field? So you mentioned some things related to finances, but I'm kind of trying to narrow it down.
Yeah, I think really like single moms who
Okay.
have like that added burden of rearing children, and maybe it's happening before you're quite financially ready or even emotionally ready for that situation. So I would say that would be the
Okay. So maybe smart finances for single moms. Is
yeah, yeah,
is that correct?
or even education, just any of those pillars you could think of. But I would say my passion would be helping, single moms.
Okay. Tell me more about that education you just mentioned.
If you go the very young end of the spectrum, you have young girls who've not yet even maybe finished college, who now have that primary responsibility of motherhood and trying to figure out how to get back on track with their education even. So I just feel like there's so many avenues, but just wondering how to take a bite of that elephant and start with some piece of it that I could
Mhm.
monetize.
Okay. So two suggestions that I have that it comes to mind. Again, it's not a full coaching session, but something quick. So the first one is very similar to what I told John. It would be either finding websites about this topic and then offering yourself to write for them, or have your own blog. However, because again, there are so many remote jobs today. By the way, I checked the stats and I bumped into, so on LinkedIn, before pandemic versus after pandemic, remote jobs positions have gone up 957%. There are much more remote jobs these days. Therefore, your chance of getting a job at something that you like have really increased. So if you are looking for a day job but can be remote because it's flexible, there are a lot of perks for that, then that's maybe also a way to start, of not going with organization that 1 hour from where you live, but basically all around the world. Why not?
Shlomo?
So yes.
I'm here in Austin, Texas, and there's a friend of mine who runs I guess the web magazine called American Genius, but they've
Okay.
also got two forums, Austin Digital Jobs and Remote Digital Jobs. They're
Okay.
Facebook forums, Facebook groups, and a lot of recruiters, they post a lot of these remote jobs and a lot of advice for folks searching for them. So those can be helpful.
Okay, and also Limor is giving Power to Fly's job board, and they have tons of remote jobs. You really need to think about this. So almost anything that people do today can be turned somewhat, maybe not 100%, but almost 100% into remote. Even plumbers, and forgive me if you're plumbers here, are they can teach things to plumb, how to fix things in the house. They can show videos. They can write about plumbing. So you can, turn whatever you do into something that you can do remote and have another income stream. It's a matter of finding it. Okay, Rhonda is about to apply. Wonderful. Okay, so we've got all this. Thank you, John. Thank you, Candy. Candy, was that helpful?
Yes, it was very helpful, and I was listening actively too, for the advice that you gave to John, because it did feel very applicable.
Wonderful. Okay, great. So let's dive into some tools or real examples of where you can start searching for those. This doesn't mean these are the only places you can do things. You can find these opportunities, but it's kind of let's say, something representative from every category that I'm giving here in this slide. So 2 websites for teaching. That's the example for teaching. At the top, you see OutSchool. OutSchool is a website for teaching kids. And they really have, if you love teaching kids or a certain topic, you can go ahead and open a profile there. They really have every topic you can think about. My daughter had a class about dinosaurs. She had a Spanish singing class. A friend of ours have something with dancing and singing as well. There are really endless opportunities there. And what I took here from the screenshot, you can see. So Hallie Wynn is teaching math, stories, addition, and subtraction, sorry. You see a Groovy Kids Club, Yo-Yo Yoga Fitness. Somebody's teaching yoga. That's Mrs. Yvonne. I hope I read her name right. Okay, this is OutSchool. That's only for kids, but go there, outschool.com. You can find there, go to the categories, see what other people do. If you resonate with anything similar, you know that there is a market, go ahead, open your profile and try it. Why not? Skillshare is another option, and that is for adults. It's basically the same idea, but more but approaching adults. That's Skillshare.com. You can see here part of their categories: animation, creative writing, film and video, illustration, music, photography, UX, UI, web development. What else? Business analysis, freelance. It's endless. Okay. Again, in order for you to find what you want to do, you go to a platform. Again, these are examples. You find if there is a market, somebody is doing something similar. Usually, you'll find that it's already there. So people are making money. And some of them, by the way, you can also see how much they earn. So you know if that's in your ballpark or not. So you can do that. What else? Next example. And we didn't speak about that, but I'm sure any one of you can do it right after we speak. Teach a language, or if you don't want to teach, that's okay too. Speak your language. In this website, italki.com, my daughter learns Spanish through that. I learned Chinese with that, Italian and all those. It's not that I speak all of those fluently, but I had some classes. But there are two categories on this website: professional teachers, and there are also people who are called community teachers. Basically, there are people that are not certified. However, they still speak a language. Me, as a Spanish learner, I want to speak Spanish. I just want to practice speaking. I need somebody like that. So they don't make as much as the professional teachers. However, it's something that you can do just right now. We all speak a language. You can do that. And there is a market. You can see how much they earn. Look. So this is at the bottom. Is for French. That's Soline, whatever you say that in French. And you see that she made in January 160 lessons. And you see how much she charges per hour between, it depends, 9 or 13, depends on because it's sometimes half an hour, sometimes it's an hour and a half, sometimes an hour. Anyway, so you can make those multiplications and see how much she made. So if that's, let's say, $10 time 160, that's 1,600 extra dollars income. They have the fees, of course, for the platform, but it's another income stream that you can start right away. This guy teaching Hebrew, and Hebrew is a rather, let's say, not too many people speak it, but still there is a market. This guy is taking $25 for that for an hour. Hebrew counts as an expensive language because Israel is an expensive place. So people pay more for that. Also, the teachers that teach Hebrew, they need to make more in order to make a living in Israel. So that's how you weigh your options. If your only language is Spanish, then that's more of the lower scale. If you have more of the Hebrew as an example, that's on the higher one. English is somewhere in the middle. Oh, this is French. Sorry. Yeah, I need to check the numbers for English. I don't remember. Anyway, italki.com. There's another website called Preply. You can try that as well. Same idea. Okay, let's go to the next example. If you have questions, feel free to write them on the chat or just unmute yourself. It's not like we're 500 people. It's really okay. So I mentioned freelancing and I mentioned content writing, and this is where you can start putting your profile for content writing. This is how I found my expert content writer for my niche website. Okay, this is an upwork.com. I was looking for a content writer, and from the circles that I met with the niche website investing, really, a lot of people find their writers there. So if you have expertise, John, you open a profile and write about the environment, whatever aspect that you like, but you can start getting those, you know, they're going to give you a keyword, you start writing content about this, and of course you can give your angle.
Shlomo, John asked about the language speaking site again. If you can just...
Yeah, I'll go back. So this is one here at the bottom right, italki.com. And the other one is Preply, but I can't, if I'll go out of this presentation. Limor, can you maybe do on another window, right? Preply, I'm sure Google will fix
find
the...
it. Not a problem.
Preply or something like that. I don't remember how it's spelled.
Preply and italki.
And we will send you the slides after the talk, so don't worry.
Great. Okay. So this is this is not Upwork. This is Upwork. And yeah, Preply, and I'm sure there are others. Okay, I just know those the best, but I'm sure there are other platforms. It doesn't mean that you have to be in a single platform. Okay. This one is an example for building your own service or your own product. And this, these screenshots that I took is from Twitter. And what I mean by building it public is that companies or people share of what they do and what they work on, what are their successes, but also what are their failures, in order to attract the people, the right audience to them, eventually being their followers, but also their clients. As example, this this farm in wherever, I don't remember their profile, with all this lettuces, they're celebrating that they have a new subscribers for their vegetable box. Maybe it's a monthly one or a weekly one, or I don't know. But this message says, oh, we're green, we love the environment, we have a new subscriber, and that will probably bring new subscribers because you got this connection. They're creating this connection with whoever this message is resonating with. The example on the left is somebody, look at these people, they aren't afraid to share how much they made. This guy made average of 1,800 monthly on his 4th and 5th months of his business called spynewsletter.com. Okay, and his target for next month, he's not hiding it, is 3,000. Okay, so all this thing is about building in public. It's another way of growing your own product or your own service. Just go to Twitter, search for build in public or building in public, any of those hashtags. You can see this here. You'll find plenty of those tweets. And here's my building in products, by the way. So I had 2 projects running. One is my online course. It's not anymore on a run, but it's already published. And this is one when I was building it in public. This course, how to achieve the perfect life finance balance for remote workers. And you see it says here on the parentheses on the work version. And I just charged $3 a month from people because I wanted to get the engagement, but I want to get the message. So I kept sharing about that. This is another example of building public. Now, the flags that you see at the top, I have a project where I want to help more families and people travel, but in a more financial, responsible way. So the one on the right is somebody is going to France and they have a budget for the trip, let's say $1,000. Whenever they save $100 for their trip, they mark one of the lines. When they get to the top line and they have this, printed on their fridge, yay, we can go to France. The one on the left is for the kids. So 30 days before that trip, this one example is from Greece, they started coloring every day one line, and on the 31st day, the kids are going to Greece. Now, what this creates, the conversation around the trip, the excitement going up, the planning, all that coming up together, finances and travel. That's my passion. One more example, and this is also for you, John, and maybe for you, Candy, too. This one is investing in other digital sites or assets. And when I'm talking about these assets, I'm talking about websites. Okay, it can also be SaaS products, but these are more complicated. The example that you see here is a screenshot from a marketplace called Empire Flippers. There are many others, around 15 or 20. The most known one is flippa.com. You got the URLs, the domains there at the bottom right. And another example is Motion Invest, but there are others, Investors Club, and Bytes for Beats or Beats for Bytes, I don't remember. Anyway, let's look at some examples. So there's something, a passion, something that you like. You can buy a website already making an income stream, operate it, learn how to maybe flip it. Maybe you want to sell it someday. So you learn how to add content and add more monetization channels. This is what I do with my website. But if you have the passion, hold that and just do something that you love all your life. So let's say for John, in this list, instead of art, it would be environment. Okay. And there will be a site for sale. And this website for art was selling for $58,375, but it was making $1,600 a month. Okay. You should see more example here. You like jewelry? Fine, great. 18,698, making $603. Okay. Now I'm not saying you just go and buy that. Okay. You still need to do due diligence. You still need to know what you're doing. It's a learning. There is a learning curve here. But my point here, that the opportunity to find something that you love is out there. You just need to go and find it. And this is another avenue to do that. Here's another screenshot from Empire Flippers. So you see here, hobbies, home, personal care. What else do we have here? I see on the screenshot, it's all home hobbies. Oh, survival and security. Okay, you know something about survival and security. You love this. You maybe have a store. Go ahead. Maybe it's good for you. Okay, try that. Go to these marketplaces. Maybe you'll find something interesting. Pricing can be from 0 to 20 million. Okay, so find something in your price range, something that you love. That will, this is John, what I told you about our shortcut. Maybe you don't have to start an environmental website from start. Maybe there's something already operating and you can just jump in. Right. By the way, there is also domains that you can buy that are already registered before and had a website. That's an easier start as well.
Sure.
This is called aged domains. You can Google that as well.
No, that makes sense, because I mean, I used to know a bunch of people who specialized in selling small businesses for business owners, you know.
Okay.
Folks get tired of it. Something changes in their life. They can't run the business anymore. They've decided to retire and they want to get their equity out. You also run across a lot of people who are selling franchises. Well, this is a digital version of that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But I think
I find it fascinating.
Yeah, you've got to look at, it is fascinating. You know, hobbies there. It's profiting $973 a month. So, you know, that's going to take about 3 years to pay off the initial investment.
It's 30% return.
Right. But if you grow it, then you're doing better and better. You can pay it off faster. If you're putting more energy in and promoting it, the idea would be to find one that you can grow and, you know, you don't have to take it from zero.
Exactly. You said right.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
Exactly.
Shlomo.
Welcome. I'm glad it's helpful.
I think John is going to look for a website now.
There are so many websites out there.
May.
By the way, except of the marketplaces, there are also private Facebook groups on Twitter, and also word of mouth. Once you know a few people, you start talking about these. I just got one to analyze yesterday. I need to give it an offer. Let's see if they get it. And I lost one website last week, which my offer wasn't high enough. That's part of the thing. Anyway, more examples. Sootheyourfeet.com. If you like into massage, maybe that's for you. Okay, I'm going quicker now because we're almost out of time. Reviews about gardening stuff. Reviews Radar, Air Life Better. You see all that, and you see the pricing. This is Flippa, by the way. Flippa is not as, let's say, regulated. Not regulated. That's not the word. But in Empire Flippers, they check more on the website that you list. Here, they don't check as much, so there's more risk buying from Flippa. You're Brazilian and you want things about Brazil, brazilinfos.com as example. Really endless opportunities. Look at this one. Somebody turns his passion into an income stream. This guy, and I wanted to buy that website, but I didn't get it eventually. this guy has partners around the world planting trees, and people buy subscription, $10 a month, $20 a month, whatever, and he pays half of that to plant the trees, and half of that goes to his business. But he brings all those people in. He's getting those subscription. The target audience, if I remember right, was people who fly a lot and want to offset the emissions of their flights. There are also tiers for if you are flying a lot, you buy this tier. If you're flying less, you're buying this tier. That was amazing. So this is something that he loves, and he built it. Okay, and at the time it cost only how much? $10,000. Okay, let's see. How are we with the time? We're good. And finally, spoke about all the things that you can do by yourself, but really, just like Power to Fly job board, there are many job boards for a remote work. These are another two examples, remote.io and remoteok.com. You can really find lots of options. Let's see what's over here. So at remote jobs, I see on the screenshot here, I have Politics Reporter. John, you want to take that? That's kind of environment. No, I'm kidding. But go and look, go and see what's out there. Okay, find your passion and do that.
I love politics. Everything is politics. You know.
There you go. But that screenshot is rather old. Well, not that old, but I don't know if it's still there.
I'll
and
find one.
Candy wanted to thank you, Shlomo.
Sure. Thank you so much, Candy. Thank you for your good words. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so before we finish, I want to give a gift for you. And this one is a career coaching session at a discounted price. And this is the same as I did right now with John and Candy, but of course it's longer, so you have more time, you know, to think together. And I'm also going and actually finding things with you, whatever avenue you're choosing. We need to choose the right thing. You need to go to that link. I think, Limor, we will send it afterwards.
Yeah, we will send the
afterwards.
Slides. Yeah, you can take a screenshot. You can take a screenshot if you want.
Okay, it's
but we'll definitely
bit.ly.com, not bit.ly.com, it's bit.ly, and then passion into income, and use the coupon Power to Fly. Then you'll get that discount.
That's amazing.
For this coaching session. So go with that. And if you want to connect with me, you can find me on my website, freefinancialself.com. I'm also on Twitter, Freund Shlomo, that's my name. On my name on LinkedIn, I see that a lot of you are here on LinkedIn, so search for my name. Or what I didn't mention, Free Financial Self on Instagram. And I have a YouTube channel, that's youtube.com/freefinancialself. Oh, I have all these on a slide. I forgot. There you go. Okay, so we have time for questions or whatever you manage to show.
What questions do you have?
Thank you, Rhonda.
So one pre-submitted question was, do you need to utilize social media in order to market your passion?
Wow. I think it's the closest here is the example I gave for building public. Then yes, you have to be on social media. You probably also want to then start a blog, but social media is kind of giving you a better understanding of your traction, because you see if people reply and if they like it or don't like it. With blogs, until you get to the point where you're coming up on searches and people like your content and all that, that can take a while. So yes, definitely social media is the fastest way to go with this.
I would agree, Shlomo. Social media is where you can start conversations.
Yep.
And you want to get, for people to buy stuff, for people to follow you, and then for others to advertise through that.
Exactly.
But there are lots of plugins, for instance, for a WordPress site. If you have a WordPress blog site, you can have plugins that will automatically post your content to LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, whatever social media. So you don't have to do the social media. You can choose whichever channel you want to post on, and a lot of the rest of it can get done automatically.
You have that, but I will say that every social media channel have their own, let's say,
style.
people or group or style. Yes. So
Yeah.
you really need to match the style. It's not one size fits all. So maybe
We
you can
do
start with the general thing, but then narrow down to the, yes, Limon, sorry.
We do have a question for Michelle.
Yes.
Do you have any tips for people who have physical products? Is it
Okay.
best to teach and combine all the techniques while trying to sell the physical item?
So Michelle, how about if you have the physical item, also teach how to use it and write reviews about the different things. On my example for websites, by the way, there are a lot of e-commerce websites, okay? Not in this screenshot, but the Empire Flippers and all the other marketplaces, there is a category called e-commerce. Yeah, Amazon FBA's example is if you manufacture by yourself. I don't see e-commerce here.
Michelle, if you want to share more
Yes, that will be helpful.
That will be fashion designer by trade. Okay.
Okay, so you want to sell, I guess, clothing. So different artifacts. You know what I do? It's not as easy as the other examples, but if you find a fashion website and then add the e-commerce part or the shop part to that, which already has traffic, maybe that will get you traction. However, I don't know your niche enough to tell you what size of website and how much and then how exactly to add it and how to show it. But maybe this is something that you want to explore.
Another thing that I can share that I used to have a friend that she used to knit stuff and sell it on Etsy, and she got so good with creating an online store with Etsy. So she started teaching others how to create a store on Etsy. So you can pretty much, as you start your business and grow your business and you learn things, you can later teach people to do things that are maybe not related necessarily just directly to designing fashion, but maybe other things that you know.
You find your new passions, I'd say.
Yeah. She makes dress primarily. Great.
Great. Okay, that's helpful. Thank you, Michelle. I'm glad it helped. Do you want to bring more questions? Maybe people who present.
There was one interesting one.
Yeah.
How to turn volunteer work into a potential income stream.
Okay, that's a good one. So first of all, you got the experience, whatever that is. So go do any of those examples that I gave. However, there are websites out there that if you want to volunteer and live somewhere and experience it in a different way, you can do that. And some of them also pay, if I remember correctly. So one example I can give, and I didn't give this one, it's a different talk, called workaway.info. And that one is basically people listing things, I need help renovating a house in, I don't know, wherever, somewhere, okay? I need help with maintaining my boat. A wildlife conservation center needs help with that. You get all these crazy things for volunteering. Some of them are paid, okay? And they take care of your the food and where to live and all that. It's not a program. Each listing is different, but have a look there, workaway.info. I'm sure there are others. I just doesn't come to mind right now. Brandy said, this has been helpful. We really need to think outside of the box and stretch ourselves. Cool, Brandy. Yeah. Thank you for the good words. Workaway.info. Yes, Limo, thank you.
Yeah, so there are basically infinite possibilities today, right? Because the world is getting smaller, right? Everyone is global. There's so many marketplaces, so many opportunities for you to
Mars is definitely closer, Mars. Yes, sell your skills, sell your passion, not in a sleazy way, just because you love it so much and you want to do it.
Help others with your skills.
Yes, exactly. So many opportunities out there today.
Wow, Shlomo, it's been such a pleasure. I want to thank you again for spending this precious hour with us. And I want to thank all of you for participating and engaging. And John, thank you so much for being such a great audience and engaging with us today, and all the others, and Candy and all the others
as well, yeah,
that spoke up. Really appreciate that. And
Oh,
I'm
Jacinta
looking
has
f-
another question.
yeah.
Anytime. Thank you.
Okay, Jacinta is
Yeah.
saying a couple of things that come to mind that I'd love to get paid for. Eating, okay. Finding, sharing information, resources with others. Okay, so for the second one, it's a little bit too general for me to comment. But for the first one, wow, there are so many food blogs out there. I know of several people who have food blogs, okay? And they are looking sometimes for people who would like to go to the restaurant and write about this. They need a budget. Maybe they'll pay you. I don't know exactly how it can work, but that's something to check for. I'll write for you and you'll pay for my meal, maybe? Something like that.
Yeah, think about finding, sharing information, resources with others. I mean, this is very generic and need to be narrowed down, right, to something more specific. And Donna is saying this is good information. Thank you.
You're getting the slides, yes.
You will get the slides, absolutely, and the recording.
Yes.
Wow, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure having you again, Shlomo. Hopefully
Welcome.
we'll do it again soon. And thank you all for joining.
Glad to.
And I hope that you take on Shlomo's offer for the 30-minute coaching session with him for a very small fee. If you can maybe put the slide back again, Shlomo.
It's here, but you know what I can do? I can copy that and then people can go to on the chat before people go.
Yeah, please do.
Let's do that. I'm going to copy this here. There. Now you can click on the link here and get that right away. Just click anyway, and then you'll have it open because once we close the presentation, the chat is gone.
Yeah. If you're interested, just copy this link and put the Power to Fly code.
Yes, don't forget that.
For getting the discount. If you can go again to the previous slide that shows that.
Yes.
Shlomo, slide
this
26. One. Yeah. That's an incredible offer for any of you that really want to meet with Shlomo. And thank you all. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful week. And see you in our next chat.
See you next time.
Thank you.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
We'll be looking for it. Thanks.
Bye.
Wonderful. Bye-bye.